With over 900 vehicles in GTA 5, it's hard to believe that there are still some extremely iconic cars that haven't been added to the game. Yet somehow there are plenty that I was able to come up with, and even more that you as a community have expressed interest in. From trucks, supercars, vans, sedans, classics, American muscles, or even imports, there are hundreds of cars that Rockstar could still add to GTA 5 or introduce in GTA 6. Starting with an old classic, the Porsche 928 was built between 77 and 95 and has some of the most unique pop-up headlights there is. Sure, this wouldn't be at the top of the sports classics class for performance, but it would be a fun addition to the Fister lineup. Perhaps a Comet Classic? Moving to the faster end of the spectrum and probably dominating the sedans class is the Audi RS6 Avant Wagon, which would probably instead be put in the sports car class because that's just what Rockstar does. Now this might just look like a boring wagon to a non-car enthusiast, but to be honest, it would be a fun drive within the streets of Los Santos. Another Audi that appears to be fairly desired is the Audi TT. As a kid, I always thought this was as basic could be when it came to cars. But as an adult, I can see that this car did well to stand on its own looks-wise. Now, this model is a tad older, but if it had some rally or off-road options, that would be sick as well. Or even a newer 2019 model would be a good addition. Now, before I mention the next car, I know that we already have the Bullet and the FMJ, but they just aren't the Ford GT40 Mark II. A nice clean 60s GT40 would be a great piece to put in that empty corner of that 60 car garage you have. This car is historic in the racing scene and would not only be beautiful, but fast as well. The De Tomaso Mangusta is a car you don't normally hear of, partially due to its smaller manufacture and the fact that it was only produced for 4 years. Not only does this car look great, but Mangusta is Italian for mongoose, an animal which is known to kill cobras, and it's rumored that this name was in retaliation to a deal gone sour with Carroll Shelby himself. And as an avid hater of the Mamba, this would be a beautiful addition to my personal garage. With the recent addition of police cars being ownable in GTA 5, one vehicle that's constantly brought up, yet never added, is the Ford Explorer. Both for a soccer mom and police version, this could be added for a hefty price tag. Given new SUVs, the civilian version likely wouldn't cost less than $1.6 million, meaning the police variant? Yikes. Now, for those who've been around for a while, you know that I have a garage dedicated to my atomic racing team. And although I don't have much space left in that garage, a Hotring Faction would sit well next to my Hotring Everon, Hellfire, and Sabre. It wouldn't be beating any of them around the track, but it would also be a good car for a movie garage as Chick Hicks from Cars. Circling back to Porsche, the 2000s Porsche Carrera GT was commonly mentioned by you on the community tab. Luckily, as you've seen with a few of these cars, modders on the 5M servers have already added them to the game. This car would mean yet another addition to the massive lineup of Fister Comets. Unless they called it something like the Meteor, but I don't know who would do that. I mean, it'd be a kind of cool name, but it'd be a Comet. The 1970 Dodge Super Bee is most recognizable for its unique grille and headlight configuration. Having this as a new muscle car surely would hit well with the car community in GTA 5. Sure, they'd likely give it the option to have a wheelie bar and a parachute bag that no one would ever use, but for other customizations, this could really have a lot. Now let's travel back in time for a minute. The 40s and 50s had some iconic curvy body styles on the road, and the deluxe Ford was no exception. When driven by Vapid Tannen in a famous 1985 film, we saw a deluxe filled with manure. Luckily, this car won't seem as shitty rolling into LSC for the first time. Now let's get back to the future. I'll show myself out. Although we have seen some cars from our future being added to GTA 5, which are obvious backports from GTA 6. For example, the Gauntlet Interceptor or Yosemite 1500 just have that GTA 6 feel and could even be seen in the trailer. Two more cars that could be seen this way is the Ram 3500 Dually, which is seen in the trailer, and the Chrysler 300, aka the Shyster PMP 700, which are both fairly anticipated after being seen last fall. There are over 550 billboards in GTA 5, and next week we rank every single one. But for as low as $2, you can become a member and see that video right now. That's right. For $2, you can see the video a week before anyone else and find out which Billboard truly is the best in the entire game. One person did say that they want to see a big rig from the European market. And I thought, well, we do already have the Phantom and the Hauler, and we don't really need any more MOC trucks. So what about a race truck, similar to, I don't know, the Dune? Yep, this is what we need. This right here. This would be a good addition. Though this truck is far too big to add to a typical garage. So what about something smaller? Like, a Kei truck. Whether it be a Suzuki, Daihatsu, Honda, or even a Mitsubishi, an older model of any of these would still be a cab-over style truck. It would just be smaller. Much smaller. And as a matter of fact, I actually own one of these in real life, though it's getting some repairs done. Touching on one more Audi, what about a classic Formula race car, like the 1930 Type D? Again, similar to the Hotring Faction, it wouldn't be beating any of the current Formula cars that we have, but just think about how much fun it would be to own and drive one of these. Though I don't really want to think about how much they might charge for something like this. The Toyota 2000 GT is a bit of a weird looking fella, but if it's iconic cars that we're looking for, iconic this car got. With its elegantly old-fashioned pop-up headlights, this car truly is amazing. Now, I'm not sure why or how this is even on the list, but quite a few people commented saying that they wanted something called the AutoZam AZ1. And at first I questioned the sanity of my community, but after taking a deep look at it with a bit of a squint through some red-tinted glasses, this might just be the greatest damn car that we could ever ask for. But hear me out, the Sprinter van. Because why not, right? Make it big, make it bulky, maybe make a race variant of it. Oh, and maybe a Monty Tech. And drift tune it while you're at it. That'd be cool. Now, there ain't many supercars that we don't already have in the game, but there is one highly requested car that fits in this class, and that's the Pagani Zonda, which is an awfully fun and quick-looking car. Though I'm not sure I'm ready to pay $3.5 million for the 6th fastest car in the Supers class. But maybe that's just me. A Caterham would fit right alongside the Raptor and the Type D, but it would probably handle better than both of them. If this was given some fun and unique customization, this would definitely be a must-buy for me. But hey, I just enjoy making absolute monstrosities to cruise around with, so maybe that's just me. A few people were saying that we absolutely need a new updated Mercedes G63. But take a look at the 2013 G-Wagon. Now look at the 2024. 2013? 2024. 2013? Exactly. What is there to change? Until one person said, armor. Yes, that's what it needs. We need a new updated Dubsta, perhaps a Dubsta Bravos. Give it a Monty Tech and an off-road lift, or if you really wanted to customize it, give it a Benny's upgrade like the Yuga Classic 4x4 or the Assembly Rancher. But a modified, off-road, armored Dubsta would actually be kind of cool. Speaking of off-roaders, just give us the Huracan Sterrato. It would just be an off-roading Pegassi Tempesta. Hell, call it the Tempesta Exploratore. Sure, this would destroy the off-roads class if they put it there. But wouldn't it be fun? A Tempesta with a lift and beefy tires, give it some body mods, off-road kits, roof rack options, and the community would eat this up. And now for the 3 most iconic cars on this list, starting with the closest motorized thing to the Little Tykes car, the PLP-50. This thing is so small, it may even classify as a bike. It ain't much, but you know everyone would own one just for the sake of it. And, come on, even Rockstar couldn't charge more than $500,000 for this, right? Now the next 2 are both huge surprises to me, mostly because of the fact that they aren't already in the game. Starting with the Coil Savanna, or the infamous Cybertruck. Love it or hate it, this truck has grabbed our attention, but somehow managed to make its way into Fortnite before GTA 5. And let's be honest, would I buy this? No. Would I blow up everyone that I see? Yes. But if it had a Monty Tech, this could be a half-decent truck for those who actually like it. And lastly, how is it even humanly possible that we have not gotten a 90s Mazda Miata yet? Everyone knows what this car is, whether you call it the Miata, Miantia, or even just the Pop car. This has secured its place in the iconic cars books. Maybe not for its speed, or its size, or its reliability, but how can you look into those eyes and say no? But obviously that's just the tip of the iceberg for how many cars could be added to GTA 5. So what car do you want to see added in GTA 5 or even GTA 6? Let me know in the comments below and maybe we will revisit this in the future. In the meantime, check out 25 cars that are already in the game that Rockstar just won't let us own.